House murder plot. Now the inmate, called a snitch, is dead and his cellmate has allegedly confessed to the killing.
The victim's family in Naples thinks it was a jailhouse hit. Before you decide, you'll want to hear what Wink News investigative reporter Lindsay Sablon uncovered.
Chris and Lois, the murder happened inside Santa Rosa State Prison in the Panhandle. It was bloody and it was brutal. An internal investigation shows Ricky Martin's cellmate confessed to killing him. But new evidence suggests the murder could have been prevented by prison guards. Now Martin's family is demanding justice. I want to warn you, some of the images in the story are disturbing.
I picture it. The blood, his handprints.
These are the images Felicia Martin can't forget. Pictures of the cell where her younger brother Ricky Martin was beaten to death. It's so gruesome, we can't show you most of them.
I felt like I should have done more.
There's not a day that goes by that Felicia and her sister Patricia Martin don't think about their little brother.
He's been through a lot. We all have.
Their parents were murdered when Ricky was 2. That's when they moved to Naples to live with their grandparents.
He loved to sing.
He thought he was going to be the next
R&B singer.
But this aspiring singer who also loved football couldn't avoid trouble.
He wanted a lot more. It was just the people, places, and things that he needed to change.
In 2007, Martin broke into a house in Collier County. Because he stole guns, he was convicted of armed burglary and was sentenced to 6 years.
He wasn't just placed in that cell just to be placed in that cell.
Martin reported prison guards were holding a fight club in the chow hall. He was so scared snitching would bring trouble, he asked for protection, saying, quote, "My life is on the line." Instead, he was transferred to Santa Rosa State Prison near Pensacola and put in a cell with Sean Rogers, a lifer in for aggravated battery and armed robbery. An inmate with nothing to lose, already accused of attacking 5 other inmates. After only 4 hours together in the cell, guards found Sean Rogers standing over Ricky Martin, who was badly beaten and barely alive.
And we walked into that hospital room.
His head was the size of head, but his head
as
was
a bowling ball.
Last month, the Miami Herald expose on the incident, titled "Was Killing Behind Bars a Setup?" focused attention on exactly what happened the night of March 30th, 2012.
Myself and Officer Denman did a security check around 7 o'clock. When we're doing the security check, inmate Rogers at 11:17 stopped me and asked me a question, I believe, for the time. I'm not sure.
That's Officer Beaudry, the prison guard who checked Rogers and Martin's cell that night.
No apparent harm to either inmate. Neither one seemed to be scared or threatened. We left the wing.
10 minutes later, Beaudry and other guards say they were called back to the cell. Martin was on the floor, hogtied, covered in blood, with boxers over his head.
Seen all the blood?
Yes, sir.
All of the damage done to the inmate?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that could have been done within 10 minutes?
I think it could have been done within just a couple minutes.
Internal documents reveal at least 30 inmates interviewed said the guards were warned Martin was in danger. Inmates are often questionable witnesses, but all 30 told a similar story. The warnings were shrugged off, and the guards kept walking. One inmate says Rogers told him, quote, "I'm going to do it, beat up my white cellmate." Officer Beaudry tells a different story.
Any inmate come forward saying, "Hey, Officer Boudreaux,
No, sir. Not at any
you
time.
need to get that inmate out of that cell"?
Not at any time.
As you watch this, Martin would have been out by now, back at home with his sisters and 2 little girls. What do you want people to know?
How the system really is inside the gates.
He wrote and he wanted protection, and then you put him in there with, lifers. Something's going to happen, and they knew that.
Now, the DOC has changed its policy on how it assigns cellmates. They claim this new way will reduce violence. As for the guards, the internal investigation found they did not violate policy. But this afternoon, I talked to Ricky's father-in-law, and he told me he plans to sue the Department of Corrections. I'm Wink News investigative reporter Lindsay Sablon. Wink News now.